Good morning, friends. Today we are going to continue the lecture on chapter number 5, Arithmetic Progressions. We are into the sixth lecture. Today we are going to do some different kind of sums. We'll take a few examples so you will easily understand. Okay, so a quick revision of what we have done so far. Of the sums we have done so far, we were either given a sequence in which we found out the first term A and the common difference D, and then found out the nth term, or we found out n and then solved the sum. So we have done so far the sums in which we found out A or D or n and solved the sums. In a certain prove that sums, we assume the first term to be A and the common difference to be D. Now we are moving to sums in which the first term or the common difference is not given, but we might need to assume it. And in this sum we are given any consecutive terms of a sequence. We are given any three terms. They can be any three terms. So I have taken an example here. In this example, the sum is the sum of 6th, 7th and 8th term of an arithmetic sequence is 18 and the product is 162. Which means when you add the 6th term, the 7th term and the 8th term, you get 18. And when you multiply the 6th term and the 7th term and the 8th term, we get 162. So some data is given to us. Now we have to find out the three terms of the sequence, arithmetic sequence, which on adding will give us 18 and which on multiplying will give us 162. So the sixth term is written as a plus 5d. The seventh term a7 is written as a plus 6d. The eighth term a8 is written as a plus 7d. The sum of these three terms a6 plus a7 plus a8 equal to 18. So we have a plus 5d plus a plus 6d plus a plus 7d equal to 18. Now a plus a is 3a and 5d plus 6d plus 7d is 18d. So we have 3a plus 18d. So we have 3a plus 18d equal to 18. Dividing the whole equation by 3, simplifying it, we will have a plus 6d equal to 6. So dividing 3a by 3 we have a, dividing 18d by 3 we have 6, dividing 18 by 3 we have 6. So we have simplified the equation to a plus 6d equal to 6. But if you look at the term, a plus 6d is nothing but the seventh term. So the middle term we have a plus 6d is the seventh term. So that is the seventh term. Now what we do, if you look at the sixth term a plus 5d, you can write a plus 5d as a plus 6d minus d. But a plus 6d is what? We have got the value a plus 6d is 6. So we can write this as 6 minus d. That is a seventh term minus d. We have written as 6 minus d. Okay. Then the eighth term a plus 7d can be written as a plus 6d plus d. Now again a plus 6d is the seventh term and a plus 6d is 6. So we write 6 plus d. So what you can see here, the seventh term is the middle term. The sixth term is seventh term minus d. The eighth term is seventh term plus d. Okay. Now let us assume the middle term as a. Now this term we are assuming to be a. So this is a new type of sum in which the middle term we assume to be a. So the previous term will become a minus d and the consecutive term will become a plus d. A plus d. So The three terms can now be written as a minus d, a and a plus d. Now how do you check whether they are in a sequence or not? When you add d to a minus d, then you get a. When you add d to a, you get a plus d. So these three terms are in a sequence. Now we have changed the way we have written it. So in this type of sums, we assume the terms to be a minus d, a and a plus d. But remember, in this assumption, here a is not the first term. D is the common difference, but a is not the first term, a is the middle term. Okay, so you remember this, we have assumed a minus d, a and a plus d, the three terms. Okay, now what is further given to us? On multiplying these three terms, we get 162. Okay, so here what we have taken now, when number of terms be odd, remember this, when do you assume a to be the middle term? When the number of terms are odd. When the number of terms are odd, you take the middle term as a, the previous term as a minus d, the next term as a plus d. So odd terms, here there are three terms. Again suppose there are five terms are also odd terms. So again take the middle term to be a, take the previous one a minus d and the one before that a minus 2d. Means you are subtracting d on the left side. On the right side you add d. So a plus d and then a plus d plus d, a plus 2d. So what you can see here, when the number of terms are odd, you take the middle term to be a and consecutively on the left side you subtract d, on the right side you add d. Now in the previous example, if you remember, we had three terms. Which three terms? A minus d, a and a plus d, and the multiplication of this three was 162. Okay, from the previous term what we see, when we added them we got 18. So if we got three terms, then a minus d plus a plus d equal to 18. Now what happens here, you have seen clearly, this minus d and the plus d gets cut. So we are left with 3a equal to 18 and a equal to 6. So this is how the sum has become easier. So when we have to assume odd terms, 3 terms or 5 terms, we take it in such a way. Why we take it in such a way? So that here when you add them, the minus d and the plus d gets cut. If you add 5 terms, then the minus 2d and 2d gets cut, the minus d and the d gets cut, and we are only left with the a. So we already got the middle term, which is making our sum. Okay, now we move back to our sum. The product is 162, means we had a minus d, a and a plus d. Now we already know a is 6, the product. So multiplying all three, we get 162. Now what is a minus d into a plus d? Using the formula a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square, we get a outside the bracket, this a is taken outside, and a minus d into a plus d is a square minus d square. But we have already found out that a is equal to 6. Yes, it is already found out a is equal to 6. So let us put the value down. So 6, a square 36 minus d square equal to 162. Now this 6 in multiplication will go here into division, 162 upon 6. What do you get 162 upon 6? 36 minus d square equal to 27. We'll move the 36 to the right side. So we get minus d square equal to minus 9, or d square equal to 9. Taking the square root, d equal to plus or minus 3. So now you have got a is equal to 6 and d equal to, what is d equal to? D is equal to D is equal to 3 or minus 3. So now we put the values down. The terms will become a minus d, that is 6 minus 3, 6, and 6 plus 3. Well, here we have put d equal to 3, here we have put d equal to minus 3. In either case we get the sequence 369 or 963. So the three terms of our sequence are 369. Adding 3 plus 6 plus 9, we get 18. Multiplying 3 into 6 into 9, we get 162. So this is how we assumed and did this sum. Now notice here, note here, there are three consecutive terms of an AP. They may not be the first three or last three terms, but any three terms of the AP. Now, what if the number of terms are even? If they are even, you cannot take A. Why? Because if you take A the middle term, then you get A plus B, A plus D as one term, and A plus 2D, A plus 2D, and on the left you get A minus D, A minus D. In this case, the minus D and the D gets cut off, but a 2D remains. So this does not simplify the sum. So in the case of even terms, we have two middle terms. We have to take the two middle terms. We will take them A minus D and A plus D. Remember this very well. You need to remember this. When the terms are even, you take A minus D and A plus D. When the terms were odd, you took A. But then if you take A minus D and A plus D, what is the difference you get? So A plus D minus A minus D. Yes, you have to find the difference. So when you open the bracket, this minus becomes plus. So when you open the bracket, the minus becomes plus. So we get the difference to be, the difference is, what is the difference? It is 2D. So in the number of even terms, the difference is 2D. So if you do A minus D minus 2D, you get minus 3D. And if you do A plus D plus 2D, you get A plus 3D. So here remember, the middle terms are A minus D, A plus D, and the differences are 2D. Okay. If there are 6 terms, you will take A minus D, A plus D, add 2D, so 3D, add 2D more, so 5D. On the left, subtract 2D. So this is thing you should remember when there are odd terms or even terms, what you are supposed to take. So now we'll start with the sum. The sum of three terms in an AP is minus 3 and their product is minus 8. Now there are three terms here. So what will you assume it? Yes, you have to assume it A minus D and A plus D. So taking their sum, the minus D and the plus D again, what happens? You cut off, you get 3A equal to minus 3 or A equal to minus 1. So we have found the middle term. Now multiplying them, the product is 8. Again the same multiplication, A into A square minus D square equal to 8. Putting the value of A as minus 1. So minus 1, and what is minus 1 square? 1. So minus 1, 1 minus D square equal to 8, which implies 1 by d square. We have brought the minus 1 down here below 8. So minus d square equal to minus 9, d square equal to 9, or d equal to plus minus 3. So now we have a and we have d. So the three terms are a minus d. So minus 1 minus minus 3 is minus 4, middle term is minus 1, and minus 1 plus 3 will give us 2. So these are the three terms whose sum is minus 3 and the product is 8. And if you take d equal to minus 3, you will get the three terms 2, minus 1 and minus 4. So two answers are possible here. Okay, so we have got this sum. Now here we are given 4 numbers. And look at the sum. There are 4 numbers whose sum is 20 and the sum of whose squares is 120. So there are 4 terms. So what do we take the 4 terms? We take it a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d because this is the even number. Add them up and you get 20. So here the minus 3d and 3d gets cut, the minus d and the d gets cut. So a plus a plus a plus a, 4a equal to 20 or a equal to 5. Now we have a. Now we have to square them and add them, the sum of the squares. To square them and add them. So what is the square? Now expand. How do you expand this? Using the formula a minus b the whole square equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we have a square minus 6d plus 9d square plus a square minus 2d plus d square plus a square plus 2d plus d square plus a square plus 6d plus 9d square. Now here the minus 6d and the plus 6d gets cut off, the minus 2d and the plus 2d gets cut off. So we have a plus a square plus a square plus a square plus a square. 4a square plus 20d square equal to 120. Dividing by 4, we get a square plus 5d square equal to 30. But we have a equal to 5. So putting the value a square, that is 25 plus 5d square equal to 30, or d square equal to 5. 5d square equal to 5. So d is equal to plus minus 1. Now we have the a and we have the d. So replace the values here and you get, if you put d is equal to 1, you get 5 minus 3d, that is 2, 5 minus d, that is 4, 5 plus d equal to 6 and 5 plus 3d equal to 8. Putting d equal to minus 1, we will have 8, 6, 4, 2. So here both the sequence answers are the same. So I hope you have understood now what to do when you have got even terms and what you are supposed to take when you have got odd terms. Okay. Now we move to the divide 32 into 4 parts. Divide 32 into 4 parts in an AP such that the product of its extremes to the product of the means is 7:50. Now again 4 part means even terms. So we have a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d. Now the product of the extremes. Extreme means at the end. So these two are the extremes. So when you multiply these two terms and you multiply these two terms, the means, and take the ratio is 7:50. So first we add them because we divide into 4 parts. The total is 32. The d gets cut off. 4a equal to 32. So a is equal to 8. That was the first condition. In the second condition, we do a minus 3d into a plus 3d. That is, multiply the extreme, multiply the means and the product. So we have a square minus 9d square upon a square minus d square equal to 7 upon 50. We know the value of a equal to 8. So put down the value. So a square is 64. So 64 minus 9d square upon 64 minus d square is 7 upon 50. Now cross multiplying we get 960 minus 135d square equal to 448 minus 7d square. Rearranging we get 128d square equal to 512. So d square equal to 4 and d is equal to plus minus 2. Here again we know the value of a, we know the value of b. Putting down the values, we get the numbers 2, 6, 10 and 14. So adding 2, 6, 10 and 14 gives us 32. Now multiply the extreme. 14 twos are 28, 6 tens are 60. So 28 upon 60 is 7 is to 50. Okay. Now find the sum of all natural numbers between 250 and 1000 which are exactly divisible by 3. This is not that sum now. Here we have changed the sum again. We went back to the simple sum. All natural numbers between 250 and 1000 divisible by 3. So first we check which number greater than 250 is divisible by 3. So it is 252. Now we keep on adding 3. So 252, 255, 258 up to 3 up to 999. This is the sequence. The first term we have is 252. Common difference is 3. Last term is 999. So let us find out which is the nth term 999. So we put the formula a plus n minus 1d equal to 999. A is 252, d is 3, 999. Subtracting n minus 1 into 3 equal to 747. Now we take the 3 to the right side. So n minus 1 equal to 747 upon 3 equal to 249. So n is equal to 250. So there are 250 numbers between 250 and 1000 which are divisible by 3. So this is now a different type of sum like the previous one. We had only 2 examples of that type of sum. Okay, now we have to find the sum also. So what is the formula Sn equal to n by 2 a plus L? Here we have used a plus L because we know the first term and the last term and we know n also. So replacing the value 250 upon 2, 252 plus 999 gives 156375. Okay, this sums look slightly difficult, but once you practice you will understand. Now next sum. How many terms of the series should we take so that the sum is 513? Explain the double answer. I had done this sum yesterday I guess, but we'll repeat it once again. We have to explain the double answer. Here A is 54, B is minus 3, sum is 513. Putting the formula and the values of A and D, we have an equation. What is the equation we get? We have this equation. Solving this equation, we get n equal to 18 or n equal to 19. So here again we did the sum previously if you remember. When we have to find n, we get a quadratic equation. We solve the quadratic equation by splitting the middle term. We got n equal to 18 or n equal to 19. Now how can the sum of 18 terms and the sum of 19 terms be equal? Yes, you got it right when one term is 0. So when one term is 0, even if you remove the term to make 18 terms or you take the full 19 terms, the sum remains the same. So today we have done a few type of different sums also, where we took the middle term to be a or a plus d and a minus d. So kindly revise this and see when the number of terms are odd, we take the middle term as a, the previous term a minus d and the sum after a plus d. But when the number of terms are even, we take a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d where the difference is 2d. Okay, so I hope you are now catching up with this chapter, arithmetic progressions. You have learned how to find out the nth sum of a sequence. You have learned to find out the sum of a sequence. So I hope you are getting better and better with this chapter. Now this chapter is thorough and one revision before the exam will help you to solve all the sums. Okay.